What? I mean, I said she was going to come back soon, didn't I, guys? I said, oh, maybe mid-February, maybe late February, early March. I didn't say this weekend. Turns out, Bo-Katan Mandalore is already coming back to the game, and this is absolutely flipping nuts. IG-12 and Grogu has only literally just gone farmable today. He's on Fleet 2C, hard node for fleet farms, so anybody that's trying to get him and finish him off, you've got about 4 days to do it. I'm going to have a hard time. Keller and Beck is still not farmable anywhere in the game right now outside of weekly shipments. So if you've been working on him, if you've been buying his shards through there, then maybe you have the opportunity to actually get him unlocked. But for the rest of us, you've got 2 weekly shipments in which you can actually get Keller and Beck in your roster and at 7 stars. If you were to have a look through here, the only place we can get him right now is weekly shipments, unless you want to roll the dice and get incredibly lucky on a light side character. I wouldn't count your lucky chickens. That's a terminology that people use. But for the most part, even if you haven't started on your Keller and Beck farm right now, that means that you're going to need 280 shards in order to get them to 7 stars. The weekly shipment, you can purchase 85 shards of. You do that twice, once now and once when the weekly store resets in a couple of days' time, and then you'll be able to buy another 85, which gives you a total of, 170 shards out of the 280 that you need, which means you still need another 180 shards from somewhere. I don't think CG has ever done a release like this before. If this was the first time that CG released Bo-Katan Mandalore, this would make complete sense, right? Because the timing would be more acceptable for a short-term farm, because, you would have the character come once and you would have had, 3-4 weeks, a month's worth of weekly shipments in order to get Keller and Beck, which is more than enough time to get him through shipments. But now it's in a position where if you didn't whale in the past, you're definitely not going to get her this time, because you simply can't get Keller and Beck unless they give us some means of whaling on with real world money. I'm very, very confused by CG's stance on this, and I just thought I needed to put the information out to you wonderful people at home so that you might be able to take advantage of new Bo-Katan Mandalore with her brand new Datacron set that's coming out in about 7 days' time. That new Datacron set is turning her into an absolute monster in GAC and in Territory Wars with that Datacron, because she's all of a sudden going to be able to basic at the start of each battle, and if the enemy has no protection, which she's always going to have at least one, she will insta-kill and take a bonus turn on top of the bonus turn she got at the start of the game, which means she's just going to wipe the floor with teams like Lord Vader and anything that doesn't have a lot of protection in it. It's absolutely flipping nuts. I'm just a little bit concerned about the sort of precedent that CG is setting with this sort of thing. Like I said, if this was the first time Bo-Katan was released, it would make sense. This would be a reasonable time frame. But because this is the return, it's making this high degree of uncertainty in the release schedules of legendary events going forward. I don't think we've ever had a legendary event come back 27 days after the very first one was released. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. And if we can't rely on sort of established release methods and time frames, then how is anybody supposed to be able to farm accordingly? I mean, maybe that's their idea. Maybe they're trying to catch people off guard here to try and encourage that FOMO and get people to spend out of fear that they will not be able to unlock this character in a reasonable time. Keller and Beck, like I said, he is still not farmable in the slightest at the moment. So how are people going to unlock him unless they've already been whaling? And why would have people whaled after they missed the first Bo-Katan event? It's just confusing. I would expect something to drop sometime in the near future, like the packs we saw back at Christmas time, where you could get 50 shards of each of the marquee packs for, I believe it was $50 or 50 pounds roughly. But even then, even if you bought 2 of them, that's only 100 shards. So if you bought all of them and you bought 2 weeks worth of weekly shipments for Keller and Beck, you're still 10 shards short. Interesting. The only other thing I would say is that the holiday bonus rewards calendar does have 5 shards of Keller and Beck that we're getting tomorrow, which means you'll be 5 shards short, which is almost an insult if you think about it. Because you'd have to spend about 12,000 crystals getting the shards from shipments, and then you'd have to spend God knows how many additional crystals trying to get him in some sort of chromium pack. And the likelihood of that is just so small. In other news, the Zori Bliss character is now finally accelerated. She's been in the game for a year. That means all of her drops are now going to be accelerated. Twice the number of shards per drops, just in time for her ship to go farmable. It has been confirmed, guys, that Zori Bliss's Y-Wing, the comeuppance, is going to Fleet Energy, which is also, like we said, where IG-12 and Grogu is farmable. So right now, you're probably going to want to bulk up on your Fleet Energy, refresh that a lot, getting ready for this galactic chase on Friday. Let me know your thoughts down below about this super quick return of Bo-Katan Mandalore. What's your opinions, guys? Double whale, double paywall? It's all kind of nuts, really, isn't it? Anyway, until the next video, peace out, and may the Force be with you.